Assalamu alaikum. This is the advanced comparative constitutional educate. As per my usual record, again the whole night I was rotation in the writing of the a lot of articles in my judicial room, which I that is my bedroom come judicial room, as I told so many earlier times. The question regarding the publicans, that the concept of the over-rotation of the female's reproduction. This is the concept which is very bleak in the observation order of the females in the observation lines of the same, in fact, in the Pakistan. Somehow, I managed to observe the civil interpretation by myself last night during 25th of the August, 26th of the August night. This is evening right now in the Pakistan, and especially in the Lahore divisions. So I intend to understand the divorcee in repatriation disorder females. This is not an abusive target to anyone. This is a topic. Yes, the divorcee repatriation females in the inclined Pakistan is the first topic, and the second topic is that through the divorcee repatriation, the federal Shariat laws in the Pakistan appears to be the next point as per my observation. First, the consequences of the you can observe that the over rotation of the divorcee repatriations. This is a very broad concept in the Pakistan, which should have been acknowledged by the Republicans, because I acknowledged that by myself. So after, and there is another group that is called the gross liability exchange marriages. That is the second concept, the gross liability exchange marriages. And after that, the repatriation of the negative words through the marriages and through the divorces. So what is the concept of the pre-planned dysfunctional and disgroups of the marriages would be accommodated in the public sector, as per my observation, is very dark as well. When the concept of the observation of the female's reproduction in the Pakistan is a bleak line which is not understood by either sector in the Pakistan thereafter, the marital discoveries and after reproducing and the reproduction in the you can observe that the inclined momentum of the same is a absurd thought of the Republicans to die. Thereafter, which concept lead them into the sectarian hate is a third, fourth point. Thereafter, when we just observe that the sectarian hate is at the high stake level in the whole of the Pakistan, especially in the baseline cities of the Pakistan, then how to safeguard your life is a question of today. Irrespective of your gender, whether you are a male or female, whether you are a highly skilled individual or not, that is not a concept in Pakistan. The Pakistan is a 75% they just became zombies because of not observing their self evaluations to their self. When the concept of not observing anyone and just trying to self explanations to the others, these points should be acknowledged through the Article 184 of the Constitution of the 1973 in the Supreme Court of the Pakistan, where the Constitution of the 1973 that the females reproduced in the Pakistan, and after the observation of the said females, the burden of guilt and the guilt to burden is the same, which is not being objected in any sector, and you just reflect the sectors that we were not aware of the facts of the surrounding. That is not a concept of today. This is ancient concept which is derived under the derivation of the laws of the ancestors under the customary precedents of the legal deferred dowry issues as well. So when I just myself observe the deferred dower issues in the Pakistan, especially in the High Court and in the Supreme Court, I was astonished to observe the laws in the Pakistan primarily that the females, after being repatriated in the divorcee channels, always insulted, abused by their parents in their houses under the customized measures And this is not, I'm not having sympathy about anyone. That is my public opinion as an advocate of the Supreme Court of the Pakistan right now. The question is that the issue of the central observation of the provisional disordered individuals in the whole of the city, they are found in the public sector as to yelling in the public commodities because of their lack of the observation about their self, and are after that the observation of the self explanation in the communication of the doubts to the others as well. Yes. When I just observed that the quantum rate of the population had raised and have raised, thereafter, what is the value of the female? Today, any Pakistani come forward to make me understand about the value of the female. Because of their mal practices, because of their mal economy, because of their mal observation of the reflection to the economy, now they are trying to have the conviction rate of the female's reproduction. This is a sixth point of mine. The conviction rate of the female's reproduction over whom? Under any law, under Islamic law, under English law, that is, as per my observation, the question of the said female would have been rotation in the said relationships, irrespective of the observation of the said female or male, and that is a concept of today, which is not adjacent in any code of judicial justice as well. Thereafter, I was observing whole night, and whenever I just observe these issues, I become very furious regarding my self-existence. That what is the purpose of the life if you are not willing to observe the human negligence regarding the humanitarian observation about their self? What is the purpose of that life? No purpose of the same. So when the Almighty have provided you a life, then you have to work for the reformative methods rather than the deterrent reproduction. This is my seventh and eighth point, the deterrent reproduction in the Pakistan. What does it mean that the deterrent reproduction in the Pakistan? You observe that the deterrent reproduction in front of you is a fault of a second person and third person, and you are just merciless observing. Whenever you watch the same subject line in the object lines of the same, you becomes an objected point to the same, that what ought to be destined with the same subject line, because of the historical misdemeanor of their parental negligence regarding the men dominant societies in Pakistan is a high skyrocketed question at the high strike level issues. The males in the Pakistan, 75% are under the defection of their parental negligence, and after the reproduction under the consumption of the non-observation orders of their self-celebrated females. Such females are trying to have the modesty of the life, but the concept is that the reproductive growth rate under non-evaluated points of living is a concept which is not being derived by any Pakistani. Therefore, when I was in the High Court and I observed the all issues from the year 2016 onwards 2022, I became very tireless, because that's the way I'm always very, my health was very down during the 6 months, and I just try to recover my health because of the workload of the over rotation of the public services in the public sector, that I observed that the public itself became the zombies, and I'm serving the zombies. Why should I serve the zombies in Pakistan? This is my question. I'm not willing to serve any zombie group of the Pakistani. They are zombies. They are trying to convince the other parties, and they are not willing to extend their self to the others, that what ought to be destined with the same subject matter in the objected question of the public sector under the psychological disorder as well. This caused negated observation of mind by the public under their relationships, always just linear, defected with their self existence as well. The reproduction growth rate of the females, the males, the self devalued human decayed bodies in the Pakistan, I am getting very anguish over that fact. Under not the existence of the any human, the concept of the living in the Pakistan is a point which is not observed by the Pakistani itself. They don't have the value of their self existence, they don't have the value of their self extinguishment of the relations. They don't know about that. But what they know about the creditors, They already know what does mean the credit hours of the others. The concept is that when you are not willing to work about the anyone, then there is some person who is working for yourself, and that is your family, and your family is in the trouble right now because of the covid vicinity, plus the a lot of the weather issues, plus the storms and the weather outburst in the Pakistan, and the Pakistani out of the house is in the object line to providing the services of the not observing the self services of the others. They all are in the subordinate subversion points of not observing anyone. This is my observation. Stay blessed. Advocate Gulrez King. Today is the 26th of August evening, and just live your life.